bigger than Godzilla.
Yeah, it's been
1 week since you looked at me.
all right.
All right.
And we're back.
Tonight we'll be discussing the story of Passover. I said that tonight like we haven't discussed Christmas and Good Friday and Easter.
Hey.
But Passover is... This one... Passover is important.
Passover is very important.
And...
Isn't it the start of the Jewish calendar?
Unlike... Ooh, now you're starting me off on a bad note.
Oh.
I was going to say, unlike Christmas and Good Friday and Easter, which I knew very little about, real good at the story of Passover, and then you threw that one at me, just ruined my credibility on the whole topic. I have no idea. The Jewish calendar is something I have... No! That's like Rosh Hashanah or Yom Kippur or... Oh my god, all of my Jewish family members are like, what is she doing? It's Passover? That's...
The Lord said to Moses and Aaron in Egypt, "This month is to be for you the first month of your year."
I'm so sorry. I really am. I'm just really sorry for my family who has to watch me make it seem like they didn't teach me anything, but I promise it was not for lack of trying.
Well, if it helps, your Jewish family probably wouldn't teach you about Jesus, so they did great.
The Passover part, the not knowing the calendar, that's where I'm sorry. All the other ones, I don't care. But the Passover part, I'm like, I'm so sorry. I'm doing this to you. What's happening?
Wiggle Volt.
Anyway. Alright. Story of Passover. Buckle up, buckaroos.
Buckle up.
So, you got Moses. And he is my baby, infant, son of...
I don't know if it's important.
Anyway, I have no idea why the Pharaoh wanted all the firstborn boys or something like that dead.
I think it was very similar.
Is it like he found out Son of God was coming?
Yeah, I think it's very similar to that.
Okay. But they were like, not my baby boy, so let's put him in this basket, not a manger, basket, and let's chuck him down the river.
Yes.
And woo, God was like, hey, let's bring him to the daughter of the Pharaoh.
Yes.
And the daughter of the Pharaoh was like, my heart is so big. I'm going to take this little baby, because who wouldn't? So she was like, raise him as my own. So he grew up, and he was kind of conflicted on the inside because, you know, he thought he was something that he wasn't.
Right. Yeah. No,
Because you can feel Judaism in you.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, it was like, something's wrong. I don't like beating up Jews.
I could have sworn Moses killed a man. And
No, he stops it.
Oh, he's...
Oh, yeah.
But
so
this isn't in there either.
So, like, the slave dude, driver man, he's, like, hurting the slave. And Moses is like, whoa, what are you doing? And it kills him.
Yes,
And then
yes.
he flees.
Yes.
Because you can't kill him.
Because Pharaoh finds out and then was like, I'm going to kill him for killing an Egyptian.
Yeah, that's like blood
Walk like
traders.
an Egyptian, kill like an Egyptian.
Oh, that's funny. So he fled, and he was like, oh, maybe I'm a Jew.
Got married.
Oh, and he got married. That's romantic.
To Zipporah.
Ooh, Zipporah.
Zipporah.
Zipporah. Okay, so he married Zipporah, and they did the rebel against Pharaoh, right? Because, like, God was like, yo, Moses, you're going to be the vessel for the get Jews out of Egypt.
Do you remember how he told him that?
Burning bush.
Yep. Yes, great.
Because, of course, I mean, I would pay attention to a bush that was talking to me. Moses, free the Jews. And so, he goes to the Pharaoh. We're going to bring 10 plagues. 10 plagues. I did it. I feel like the first one, Pharaoh was probably like, no, you're not. Because I can't imagine that he would be like, fine.
Well, so the way that they try to intimidate the Pharaoh first is Aaron turns his staff into a snake.
And then the magicians, the real magicians.
Magician does the same thing.
Yeah.
And then, yeah. So the first plague is the rivers of blood.
Rivers of blood. Can we discuss really quickly?
Please, let's.
I don't think this sunk in for me when I was a kid. that all of the water is blood.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh my, that's
The Nile.
that's so vile. Like, the Nile is vile. Ugh. Oh, it's so gross. Like, that's, oh my God. Oh.
It killed fish. It smelled disgusting. Nobody had water to drink.
So, yeah, so they did that. And Pharaoh was like, this is the grossest thing I've ever seen in my whole life. Let him go. Right?
No.
He didn't let him go?
No, his magicians were like, look, we can do the same thing. And his heart was hardened.
Oh. Well, then the second one came. And second one is... Are we at locusts?
No, we're at frogs.
Oh. See, I don't think blood was the... Like, I feel like that should have been the right place to start. Like, frogs, like, after that, I don't know, man. That doesn't seem as disgusting as, like, as blood. It just seems like a weak plague.
There were a lot of them, and they, like, piled up, and they died. And everything just was... It was, like, dead frogs were...
Ranked dead frogs.
Yeah, ranked
and
dead
no one
frogs.
was eating them.
No one was eating the frogs, I don't think.
And then Pharaoh was like, "Dope, you can go." No, still didn't do that.
No.
The magicians were still like, "We can do that."
I don't think... It just says... When Pharaoh saw that there was relief, he hardened his heart and would not listen to Moses or Aaron.
Pharaoh was probably like, "Dope, I love frog legs. This is fine."
This is a delicacy
He
in
was
Nolans.
probably like, "You guys gave me blood, and now you're giving me frogs, and I just feel like you're not getting worse over time."
I'm gonna give you a helpful hint.
Okay.
Pharaoh only says yes.
The last time.
I think the last time.
Okay. So next plague is
Gnats.
locust.
No, gnats.
That's different.
Yeah.
Gnats.
Yeah. GN.
Yeah. Feels like we're getting... I mean, gnats are gross. But, like, they probably had to deal with that with spoiled fruit anyway.
Every piece of dust in the land of Egypt became a gnat when Moses...
Oh, my God. That sucks. I've seen my house.
with just, like, 7 fruit
and they
flies.
live in the desert. Oh, my God. Okay, so that one's rough.
Yeah.
That one's rough. But, if you think about it, Pharaoh, his palace is probably sparkling.
His magicians even said to him, "This is the finger of God," after this plague. And
Really?
Pharaoh was like, "No."
Well, he was cocky.
Well, when you're a king.
But also, I make a valid point. His palace was probably sparkling. So they probably weren't gnats in his palace. Because he probably had a lot of slaves.
I'm sure dust came in, though. And
Nah, close those doors. You're safe. You can stay in your gnat-free room for a while. So, Moses was like, "Hey, Pharaoh, there's gnats. Let my people go." And Pharaoh was like, "No way." So then we get plague 4. And that's another bug.
very similar to a gnat.
A fly.
A fly.
Wow, we just made them a little bigger. So they took all the gnats and made them into big
They were
flies.
in his palace. The flies were in Pharaoh's palace.
Okay.
It specifies in this one, unlike the gnats.
That's
Right?
fine. So the flies came in, which, gross. But Pharaoh was probably like, "I can deal with flies. Set up some traps. We got a lot of honey. We'll just do some fly paper. It'll be fine." Yes?
Yeah.
I'm paraphrasing, but I assume that's in there. Have we mentioned you're reading out of a Bible?
I'm reading out of the Bible.
Yeah. I didn't know if that was mentioned, that there's a Bible.
As
there.
just like a backup Google, you know?
Yeah. Google before Google.
Book.
Okay, so then Moses was like, "Yo, Pharaoh, let my people go." And Pharaoh was like, "No." And then we get to plague 5. Is locust.
No. The plague on the livestock.
Oh, that's going to be my next guess. Cattle plague. Basically, all of them got swine flu and mad cow disease.
Only the animals belonging to Egyptians died. Not a single piece of livestock belonging to a Jew/Israelite died.
Really?
Yep. God was very specific in these plagues.
That's cool.
They didn't affect the Israelites at all.
That's really cool. That's like really nice of him.
Yep. So
So
killed all
they
the animals.
killed all the animals.
Except those belonging to Israelites.
Except those blind Israelites. And as much as the Pharaoh was upset about that, he was like, "A, I'm cool with eating plants and vegetables, which are plants. And also..."
I've mastered the art of tofu, so.
Yeah, well, and think about it. He was probably like, "Hey, all the Israelites have meats. I own the Israelites. Slavery. I'll just make all my slaves give me their meat." That's probably what he thought.
Oh,
so
maybe.
when Moses was like,
let my people go.
Pharaoh was like, no. Let's move on. Next was the 6th plague, which is locusts?
Boils.
Boils. Oh god, I hate that plague.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's so uncomfortable. Did it only happen to
It broke out on men and animals throughout the land.
men and animals?
Yeah.
What's that implying?
I don't know.
I don't know what it's implying either. So that means Pharaoh was covered in boils,
Probably.
right?
Yep.
Which I personally, if that was as far as we had gotten, I can deal with like not eating meat and kind of having my surroundings a little uncomfortable, but like my body uncomfortable. I mean, I would have been tapped out of the blood, but my body.
That's why Ariel wasn't the Pharaoh.
Yeah, that's why I'm not ruling.
Plague 1.
Well, that was just like,
her
I
name.
feel like blood was like the strongest of the plagues.
It was a
except for, like,
really
one of the
good
last
one.
I mean, that is.
I wonder if they started with that because the magicians could do it too, and God knew that.
Why? Why would God do something he knew wasn't going to work?
I mean, God tells Moses and Aaron at the start, Pharaoh's going to say no 9 times.
Oh.
God really just likes to let you know what's going on, and the whole scene still has to play out. I.e. Jesus dying.
Wow, I did not know that.
Yeah, he's all-knowing. That God.
Wow.
I
It's
feel like
like-
we should do a segment of these where I tell you the story of Job, and you can just listen in horror.
Yeah, I'm down. That's cool. So, for some reason, he's like, yeah, I can live with boils, moron. And was like, my ego's still going. So Moses was like,
Let my people go.
And Pharaoh was like,
No.
the door. So we are now on the 7th.
Yes.
7th plague is gonna be wild beasts.
Hail.
Wow. I just want everyone to know I've celebrated Passover every year since I was born, and I'm 27. I'm a waste. So, hail. Which I'm assuming they kind of don't understand that concept because they live in the desert, and like maybe they got rain, but they sure as heck didn't get ice rain.
I think it definitely killed, like,
A lot of people.
a lot of plants.
Oh, it killed plants?
It beat down everything growing in the fields and stripped every tree. The only place it did not hail was the land of Goshen, where the Israelites were.
Whoa.
It's also a town in Indiana. Goshen.
It is. Oh yeah, what I was gonna say though is I was in a hailstorm once and it broke the windshield. Yeah.
Whoa.
Oh man, that was I was really extra during that whole thing, but it was
Surprising.
petrifying. I know. Wow. Shocker. It was scary. The windshield broke. I can't even imagine what these poor little babies in Egypt were dealing with. They've only dealt with rain. Oh, these poor people. These poor Egyptians.
Yeah.
They were like, our world is being destroyed.
Because our king won't.
Get rid of slaves.
Yeah. I wonder if there were some Egyptians that were like pro freeing them just to end this horror.
What are we at? Oh,
8.
so we're at 8, which is
You got it.
it's locust.
It's locust.
Yes, it's locust. Which like don't really know why you brought bugs back. We did bugs, but okay. But that's like big grasshoppers, right? They eat stuff.
They devoured whatever the hail hadn't destroyed.
But
So now everyone is starving. All the animals are dead. The plants are dead. The water is blood.
Oh my god, that makes total sense because the animals.
I
all
think they
died.
were able to find fresh water.
But the animals all died.
Yeah.
So they were like, we'll live off plants, and then God was like, ah, no. And then they were like, yeah, but I found these weeds that are still alive, or like my house plant that
And
I
then
kept. And
the
then he
locusts
was
were
like,
like,
swipe that out. So the locusts, they ate all the plants, and everyone's like, come on. And Moses, not Noah, is like, bro, let my people go. Your people are super hungry. And Pharaoh was like,
Are you ready for this?
was like, no.
Pharaoh begged Moses and Aaron to take away these plagues, but then still wouldn't let the Israelites go after they did.
Really?
Yeah. He says, I have sinned against the Lord your God and against you. Forgive my sin and pray to the Lord your God to take this deadly plague away from me. So they did it. They left and prayed to God. God took the plague away. And then Pharaoh was like, face.
And he actually went out to all of his, like, Egyptians and was like, look, dudes, I negotiated, and it's over.
I used the best words.
Yeah. God basically listened to me. So everything that Moses is saying is the fakest of news.
Fake news. I'm Pharaoh.
And the Jews were still slaves. And we move to plague 9.
Yes.
Darkness.
Darkness.
Dun dun.
But the Israelites had light. So when they go to Pharaoh, Pharaoh tells them to get out of his face, and if he sees them again, he'll kill them.
Whoa.
So Moses says, all right, never gonna see my face again.
Oh, that's funny. I kind of picture it like, he's like, get out of my face. And Moses is like, cool, darkness. Like, hits a switch. God's like, this is the best time I've ever had. Has he flooded them by then? No. God wasn't.
I think Noah has already happened.
So it's the best time in
I think Noah's in Genesis, and we're in Exodus, which is the second book of the Bible.
So, yeah. They leave.
It's the last plague.
So then how does Pharaoh know about the last plague? Grapevine?
It just happens.
Oh, really? Moses isn't like, hey, we'll leave, but your son's gonna die. Didn't give him a heads up?
Well, it says, then Moses, hot with anger, left Pharaoh.
Moses got angry?
Yeah. Okay, so...
Seems petty.
So it might be just as you say, Moses said, I'll never appear before you again.
But your son's...
Here's your last plague.
Ah.
And then he was like, I'm really pissed at you and I'm gone.
Oh my god. And then they kill... Oh yeah, and then they're like, hey, all the Jews, throw some lamb's blood up.
Yeah.
So they did, and then Angel of Darkness came down, bubonic plagued everybody.
These Jews also shared lambs with each other because some were too poor to have a lamb. So they were neighbor. They did the neighborly thing and split the lamb.
So Pharaoh is like, man, you killed my son, and I have
nothing left to live for.
Because you know what? Deep down inside all evil, there's a little flicker of good. Hopefully. So maybe he was like, I said hopefully.
No, okay.
You know, just because you pull all the light out of someone, maybe there's a little bit of light when you take the one thing they love.
Maybe.
You know?
Yeah.
So, son died, and
Yeah.
Pharaoh was like, I can't do this anymore. You took my son, the one thing I cared about.
Right.
Not all of the people that I protect.
Yeah.
But, yeah. So, he said, Pharaoh!
Let my people go.
And Pharaoh was like,
Get out. I think
Let
actually
go.
he drives them out because he's so
Really?
angry at the death of his son.
I just pictured him with like a really big whip. Just like, yeah!
Yeah! Did you know that
Right.
Pharaoh changes his mind after they leave and tries to chase them down?
Yes! and
Because
then-
that's why I was like, really? Glimmer of hope?
Oh, yeah, okay.
Snuffed right out.
Well, I'm just saying.
No, I know.
Is that... Are we parting?
Yeah.
Heck yeah. Pharaoh's like, up and away! Like, let's go get him back because I no longer care about my son. He probably found out he had another illegitimate son that he could raise in his
Or it was
place.
probably like, well, my son, I can't bring my son back.
Oh.
May as well get my slaves back.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes total sense. Way better than my idea. So...
up and away!
That part still stands.
Hi ho!
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah!
This is not comical. The Bible is not funny for the people involved.
Okay, but the show's called Pretty Funny, so we have to at least make it kind of funny.
I know, I'm just saying. That sucks. What happened to them is horrible. So, if they're real. So, Moses is a sweet head start. But they know. The guys in the back at the back of the line are like, hey!
Hey, pass this forward.
Hey, let them know. I think we're being followed.
And then it just like
And then you just hear,
echoes through. Until it gets to Moses. He's like, we're being followed.
I was like, send it back. I got it.
I got it. Oh, he has us.
I was like, oh, you sure? But okay, he's good. All right. I feel like I'm gonna die, but okay. Like, just that guy in the back. He's like, man, feel like we should be running. So maybe they do run. In our story, they're gonna run.
We're not all on chariots.
So They get to the Red Sea.
Yes.
They get to the Red Sea, and everyone's like, whoa!
This is an ocean.
Oh my god, the guy in the back is like, there's a sea coming, I don't know what we're gonna do, but okay.
I can see it in the distance.
Like, I know, I've been out here, I know where we're going, like, do you have a compass? I don't know. Are we turning? And then...
Are we going around it? Like
Moses is like, God, what the heck? You said it was gonna be good. And then God was like, and it is.
Throw that staff down.
Boom! And the dude in the back is like, oh, that's unexpected.
I like that there's a singular dude in the back. I really like that. He's the watch. It makes sense, actually, that there'd be someone hanging back to make sure everyone's okay.
We're like, oh man, looks like my watch is ending if we don't figure it out. Haha, Game of Thrones. So they walk through the sea, and then God closes said sea.
On the Egyptians.
On the
A
Egyptians.
lot of them drown.
Dude in the back made it through, though. Like, just nearly.
Yeah.
He was like, whoa, fell water on my back. A little close, Moses, a little close.
I feel like in Prince of Egypt they show this, but like when the sea is up, there's like animated sea creatures like still in the water.
Oh, wow.
Like there's a giant whale that they're walking by. Yeah, and I love that idea. I like, of course, that makes total sense. They're in the middle. They're crossing at the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah. Sea.
Right.
But yes. Still
Correct.
stands.
Seas and
You know,
oceans
if you
are
think
technically
about
different.
it, if they went to the bottom, they had to like walk down.
Yeah, and then back up.
That's just a lot
It was
of stuff.
probably a journey.
They probably had to leave.
They must
their
have had
elderly.
a really good head start.
Oh yeah, and they had to leave their dead. Like their elderly died. In
Probably.
This trip. No, you know
Yeah.
what? Maybe God was
No,
like.
I think you're right.
No, they probably died. And then they ate matzah because
Yep.
they didn't have time to leaven their bread because who has time for that? So they made it over there, and then we're in 40 days and 40 nights
Right.
in the desert. But that's
And then
really
10
not Passover
Commandments.
stuff. Oh my God, we do talk about 10 Commandments
You
at
do.
Passover dinner. I know about
Which
10 Commandments.
I did not know that came up at Passover until we did that song.
I think at this point we've determined we are done
Probably.
with the story of Passover.
Well, I think Passover, does it continue on in the 40 days and 40 nights? Or is Passover when
It's
the
really,
angel of death passed
Passover's
over?
the Exodus.
Oh.
Passover is the story of the Exodus according to what I've been told. So, that's about it.
Yeah.
That's the story of Passover.
Thank you
Thank
for
you.
joining us this evening.
This was really fun.
We've had a lot of fun.
Yeah. We're gonna go,
I think the new episode of Law & Order is probably on Hulu.
That's what I was hoping you were gonna say.
You
Okay.
can lay in your bed and watch it.
Oh, that sounds great. Okay. Well, this was fun. Happy Passover.